Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Cancer November through December 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So the reading today is going to be taking a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to face and overcome in the month of November and December that's going to allow you to unlock your own heroic capabilities or to unlock some aspect of yourself that needs to come to light so that you can better see your place, your purpose, and get closer to those feelings of emotional fulfillment that come when we know who we are, when we have that illumination of self. So this month I'm doing a little differently. Instead of posting all of the basically the readings for the signs that line up with their elements, so meaning posting, let's say, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces all together, I'm doing the opposite. So I'm filming two back-to-back videos that are taking the one sign and then that sign's opposing sign on the Zodiac wheel. So for you, Cancer, your opposing sign is Capricorn. And I find that this is a really interesting way to take a look at, because you're tied together, looking at the energy that both signs are going through. So you're basically taking the same challenge or the same energy, but seeing it from two different perspectives. And I've noticed myself in my own practice and in my own life that no matter what sign you are, whether you're looking at your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign, that often you will find that you have a lot of the opposing sign in your life through the other people that you interact with, because there's a karmic relationship there. So for you, Cancer, most likely, if you haven't asked the people in your life, you might be surprised that when you do, you'll find that you're surrounded by a lot of very prominent or important key Capricorns. So to get into your reading, Cancer, we are starting here by pulling cards to take a look at your energy, what's going on around you, and then what you're unlocking for yourself as we go through the next 2 months. And wow, this is some beautiful and very heavy-hitting energy. We have the Eight of Cups as what you're coming into November and December with. This is an energy of knowing what you want to walk away from and what you're walking towards. It's actually a very healing energy. It can be one that's actually truly cathartic, that maybe you have gone through something recently that has kind of opened your eyes to something that no longer emotionally fulfills you, whether this is a group of people, friendships, a work environment, a significant partnership. But the beauty of it is you understand that there is more for you out there. You understand the value of the cup that you hold, the cup of your hopes, your dreams, your needs, and you're ready to find those in the environments that will support that. Now, in your external environment, we have the Ten of Swords. And this can be a card that is difficult. It's a card that speaks to kind of being brought to your knees or coming into that place of like the lowest point in your life or feeling like you're at that place. This can just be where you feel like almost like overkill. Like, really, how can I can't handle one more thing? And then here comes that last sword. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is that it's the closing out of a cycle. It's showing that what comes next is the Ace of Swords. It's new clarity. It's the realization that you survived this point in your life and that it is only uphill from here. Now, the reason why I say this is also the closing out of a major cycle is because you have the Wheel of Fortune, Judgment, and the Star. These are some of the three heaviest hitting cards in the tarot of change. And it's beautiful change that, for me personally, comes from what I believe is the divine design. This is Spirit, this is God, this is the universe, whatever you choose to explain our connection to the unknown. This is this moment in your life experience where the wheel is turning over. There's opportunity for a new start. Judgment speaks to a major change in who you are, how you present yourself, and how you actually view your life experience. And then we end with the Star. And this is what the next 2 months are really going to open up and unfold for you, Cancer. The star is the energy of reconnecting to that great hope, dream, desire for yourself. And I think you're initially connecting with that on a very simple level, again, with the Eight of Cups here, realizing what's in your cup, getting to that emotional place of, I know what I want to feel. I know what I want to feel with others, and I'm not feeling it in some aspect of my life, and I'm ready to walk away from that. And that's what's going to lead you to the realization of how much you've changed, of how much you've grown, of how much the wheel is turning in your favor because of the closeout of this cycle, how strong you are, and ultimately getting clarity on what is that great hope dream for yourself. In fact, for some of you, you may have maybe been distant from it for a while. You know, we can go through our life and get really busy, be going through all these things, and we forget to look up at the night sky. We forget to see that what used to guide us in the past, we've since forgotten. And this can come about when we, let's say, initially started down a career path and we had all these hopes and dreams of what it would turn into. And now we're realizing as we reconnect to the feeling that you're not getting from, let's say, your workplace, you realize, I lost sight of the dream. I lost sight of why I originally started. It wasn't just to make money. It was to feel a specific way. It was to feel support. It was to feel creative. It was to feel inspired, or that I was being of service to somebody. Or this can be the same in a relationship, or a focus on home, or a focus on community, where again, you might have started something, and in the process of the journey of starting something to where you are now, you lost sight again of the real importance of why. Why did you want to start a family? Why did you want to get into a romantic partnership with this individual? Why did you want to join this community-based service project? Something along those lines where now you're realizing, not only am I being called up as a new version of myself, but I'm realizing again, reconnecting to that dream. Beautiful, beautiful energy, Cancer. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to pull some cards to take a look more at the blocks and the challenge that you're being faced with. We're going to get advice from Spirit as to how to, I don't know if you guys see the Wheel of Fortune's at the bottom of the deck here. A lot of movement. The wheel is turning over, a fresh cycle, and with a fresh cycle comes new opportunity. So really, I know may be difficult in this moment, Cancer, because it does look like, again, there's a lot of stuff going on that has caused you to realize what you need to walk away from emotionally. But the beauty of it this time now is that all of this is going to be kind of washed away as the new comes in, as the new supportive energy comes in. Five of Swords, yeah. So this is your main block. The Five of Swords is a card of winning at all costs. It's a card of where we want to kind of fight seeing the truth, or we are not willing to. It's like a card where we kind of stick our fingers in our ears and we're like, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. And we all get to that place in our life around something that we know we have to walk away from, something that we know that conversation we can no longer have with people, where every time we bring up something and it seems that every time we bring up that subject, somebody else is kind of fighting us on it, or we feel like we have to defend that opinion or that stance, and we don't care if ultimately it hurts somebody else's feelings. And the beauty of the Five of Swords is that it allows us to see where we do draw kind of that hard line in the sand. What do we not want to back down from? Where do we keep kind of rehashing the same story? You know, we keep bringing up the same thing. I can't do this because I don't like my job, because I don't like, oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just going to say this. For those of you who watch my tarot readings regularly, you know that there's a reason why I use this deck, and it's because it's what I call my magic deck. There are cards that will randomly come up as repetitive, and even though I will literally put the deck out up face up and try to find these repetitive cards, they come up randomly and I cannot find them when I just have all the cards face up. So I know that might be a little woo-woo for some of you, but it's the truth. And here it is for you guys to plainly see. So we have the High Priestess coming up twice from the same deck. And I will get further into that. But the beauty of what I was saying with the Five of Swords is that we know where we're drawing that hard line in the sand, where we do, it shows us where we are continually kind of saying, okay, I'm always complaining about the workplace now. And even though I keep complaining, people will sit there and try to maybe in my life give me, their opinion as to, well, maybe you should try to do this, or maybe you should try to, have you done this? Have you done that? And then all I do is get frustrated and kind of want to shut down and be like, I just want to complain about my job, or I just want to complain about my significant other who isn't supportive or whatever it is. And this is where you're realizing, okay, I've been drawing that kind of hard line in the sand for a long time around on trying to not change something in my life. It's kind of like the person who complains about something all the time but isn't willing to make the changes. They don't want to make the changes. They just want to complain for the sake of complaining. Not to say that that's what you guys are doing, but there's an element here of kind of fighting the truth of where the change needs to come in. And why do I say that? Because with the Three of Wands, this is the card of your ships are coming in. This is the card of opportunities coming in for you. And there's a little bit of this kind of fighting of that energy here. There's a block. This is the block of maybe there is an opportunity that's presenting itself, or maybe you do have something that you kind of laid the groundwork for previously, and now it's knocking on the door and you're like, look, I just can't handle it. I just can't do it. Now's not the time. I don't want to take that risk. I was just kind of blindsided by this other thing. And Spirit's asking you to embrace the High Priestess. And this energy aligns so much with you, Cancer. This energy aligns with intuition, with the understanding of that all the answers lie within us, and that this is where we get to connect to the answers. That when we connect to Spirit, when we connect to God, when we connect to the universe, we do so from within. And that's where those answers come from. It's also, here you can see the symbol of the Alpha and the Omega. This is that kind of encompassing of everything together. In the original Rider-Waite Tarot, it shows an individual sitting between a black pillar and a white pillar, stating that this individual understands both the light and the dark aspects of their experience, and they don't hide from either. They bring them both together and understand that in that knowledge of the darker aspects of themselves and the lighter aspects of themselves, they find their own truth. They hear the way, they see their own uniqueness and their own path, and they're ready to make a choice, to make a decision. And with the Hierophant coming in after this is a card of our belief systems, the rules we choose to follow, and getting to that place of understanding that sometimes something has to change. And the Hierophant can also speak to things that we are contractually beholden to. This can speak to marriage. This can speak to a work environment that you have told you are going to honor being there for X amount of time, and you follow their rules and you follow their practices, or a religion that you do the same. But there is something here, Cancer. The High Priestess coming up here and here again, underlined by the King of Cups, that it is time for you. And in the core of your being, that a change is needed. That it's time, and you're being told to lean into the mystery, told to lean into what no longer feels right, and to embrace now a belief structure that's going to be supportive for you. With Judgment coming in, this can actually be kind of that, like, looking at your whole life with fresh eyes and realizing, oh my gosh, I've been trying to do something a specific way. I've been following these rules for so long, and it hasn't gotten me the result that I wanted. Or in fact, as I followed these rules or these practices or these beliefs, it got me further away from my own dream, further away from meeting my own needs. And this is saying it's time now that with this kind of sandwich between the two, when you think about it, you have the high priestess and the Hierophant, who is the high priest. So this is nothing but high priest and priestess energy, both in the masculine and the feminine form. So you are bringing those two sides of your experience together, but you are doubly being asked to face the feminine aspect, which is the creative aspect, which is going within. Instead of, when you see the Hierophant, he's looking without. He's looking to the future. He is seeing a broader vision. He's someone who's going to create the structures for what the High Priestess finds within herself. So you're bringing these two parts together. On one side, you're seeing the bigger long-term vision, but that long-term vision comes from first what you know you're making that decision from internally. And with the King of Cups can be seen as the spiritual advisor. This is the energy of Scorpio. It is deep water energy, but it is also one of emotional maturity. Both of these characters, what's interesting is the High Priestess and the King of Cups, they are both highly emotional and intuitive individuals, but they are also someone who on the surface can come across being almost emotionless, which is interesting. That she is so much in tune with herself inside that the decisions she makes are not known or seen by others. She is a part of the great mystery. The King of Cups is so emotionally mature that he is not going to have emotional outbursts. He is going to be in control of his emotions and will only share his emotions and utilize them when they are in service to all. That's the energy that the kings bring in. They are kind of socially responsible to their kingdom. So you're really being asked to get back in touch with your divinity, your divine spirit. You're being asked to trust yourself, and you're being asked to lay the foundation and the groundwork and kind of rewrite the rules for yourself for the new version that's coming in. And I'm getting the feeling I'm going to actually pull some clarifiers now to get deeper into these cards. But what I'm hearing just intuitively, I'm hearing it's time to throw the rule book out. It's time for a new set. So there's something here around maybe you've told yourself you have to do something a certain way, or you felt that you're following a specific path, and this is, you do something A, B, and C, and suddenly you're seeing that maybe there's a totally different, maybe you're being called towards the dream again, and there's something here within your own system that needs to change to support that. So you're the Page of Wands. Yeah, you're fighting you're fighting the inspiration. You're fighting the feeling of, I want to just go out there and play again. I feel like Cancer sorry, I just dropped the card here. Okay, so actually do it like that. For many of you, I've felt very heavy energy over the past few months, and now I'm a Cancer rising, so I do really bring in this energy in my experience as well. And I can tell you that, yeah, it has been very difficult to kind of go through this emotional growth. But the beauty of emotional growth is that emotional growth is what gets us back in touch with our spirituality, because that is really, our emotions are what tie us. The feelings we have to our experience are what allow us to actually get in touch not only with the divine, but with our own manifestation power in our physical experience. And so for many of you, what you've been going through on this deep emotional kind of journey is you've been getting back in touch with your own divinity. You've been getting back in touch with your own dream, your own star. And now it's time, with the Eight of Wands and the Page of Wands. This is about fast communication. This is about fast moving energy. I mean, if you see this, it looks like train tracks and somebody's kind of being slingshotted right through. So for some of you, there's this kind of fighting of the energy that's coming in. It's almost like it's too fast, it's too much, and I just want to play. And that's what Spirit's really asking you to lean into. What can feel like play right now? What lights your fire? What makes you feel like that child working with your own magic again? And with that Eight of Wands, that's the wheel turning. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling this push to, and this could be for some of you, again, if we're getting a little bit more specific, even though this is a very general reading, for some of you, this could be you're getting communication from somebody who has an opportunity from you, or from people who maybe, you sent out a lot of inquiries around something a while back, and suddenly now it's all coming it's coming full steam to a head, so to speak. And then it seems fun, it seems exciting, but you're trying to tell yourself, no, I can't deal with that right now. I can't. I'm getting a little bit of that kind of that fear coming in. So let's see what's going on with the Three of Wands. Yeah, death. Interesting. Yeah, I think for some of you, death is a card that really speaks to scorpionic energy again. So you have a lot of scorpionic energy here, which is transformative energy. One of Scorpio's symbols is the phoenix. And obviously that is something that has literally gone through death, fire, and been reborn into its higher magical self, judgment. Death also harnesses the energy of the number 13 in the tarot, which breaks down to the number 4, which is building a new foundation from something that must be released. So there is, I think, this feeling of having to kind of almost release the expectations on what is coming in for you. Because I feel like in some capacity you only have your eyes fixed on something that you want to come in. But when you think about it, there's 3 wands, there's 3 opportunities here. And so if she's only looking at the 1 wand, well, there's 2 more that are trying to come in behind her. So keep that in mind, that when I'm thinking of death, I'm thinking that there needs to be a death of the way that you can, a death of your own perspective, a death that only this can be seen as an opportunity. Now, I love that the King of Wands came up for the High Priestess. King of Wands is someone who has mastered working with their passions. This can be the CEO energy. This can be somebody who wants to start their own business. This can be somebody who wants to take the lead in their life, but they are in touch with their fire. And for some of you, I think you haven't realized that maybe the page that you thought you were, the kind of childlike energy, and this can be even kind of innocent and naive energy, that a part of that in you has died, and you are now in a much more, how can I put this, much more powerful position than I think you realize. The King of Wands is someone, again, who has mastered their passions, has mastered what they love to work with, what kind of lights their internal fire. And they're very uncompromising in taking action that doesn't support that. So for some of you, there's getting to this place of internally understanding that for yourself and making the decision from this point forward to really own that energy and to bring that outward as you start to take action, as you start to move into this new cycle. So let's see here. What's going on with the Hierophant? What does Cancer need to know about the Hierophant? Four of Swords. Yeah, a card of reflection. This is a card of review. It's a card of taking a momentary pause to take a look at the thoughts that go on in your mind that are negative, that are based on the wounds of the past, that hide your own personal truth from yourself. And this is where I think if you can take that time, and I'm going to pull additional card for that. Yeah, Page of Swords. So you're finding that sword in here, and you're finding context, I think, for a lot of you as to why you've maybe allowed this truth to be hidden from yourself, finding context as to where the wounds of the past have come in that have kind of forced you to create the boundaries and the structures that you choose to follow with the Hierophant here. So keep that in mind, that if you can really sit for the next, over the next 2 months, kind of let the energy just come in, be ready to embrace it, be ready to embrace the opportunities that want to come in, but also at the same time, getting very clear on a mental space as to where you've created structures in your life to protect yourself from the wounds that have come in now and are hiding the true truth of who you are from yourself. And then once you kind of see that, this is where you get to break those boundaries. You get to kind of crack yourself open, and you get to really allow yourself to, again, build the new structure that's going to be supportive of the sight that you have that comes first from the knowledge within. Okay, now we're going to see what's coming up for the High Priestess with the King of Cups. What does Cancer need to... Yeah, the World. A major close of a major cycle. The World is a wrap-up. And the beauty of the World is that it denotes, it comes directly hand in hand with the Wheel of Fortune, that the world has ended, but the world turns over once again. So this is mirroring the Wheel of Fortune energy. And it's also showing you that you can take this moment to pause, to take a breath, to know that this was all a much larger, more important chapter of your life. It has come to a close. And now, with the wheel turning over, there's a whole new opportunity of expansion opening up before you. And you get to take forward all these lessons learned that are going to allow you to step up into this place of deep understanding, knowledge and wisdom, and emotional maturity that's going to allow you to handle, and I think look for opportunities you might otherwise have not been maybe emotionally, I would say emotionally mature enough, or just emotionally aware enough to see as opportunities. Okay, so now I'm going to pull 3 cards to get additional advice from Spirit, where we're going to take a look at the concepts of curiosity. So what Spirit would like you to be curious to, and looking at a potential area where you might be blocking yourself. We're going to look at courage, where Spirit would like you to have the courage to surrender some aspect of your experience to allow you to take brave action, and contemplation, where Spirit would like you to stay open and reflective to for the month. So let's see, what does Cancer need to know about curiosity? What does Cancer need to be curious about, where they might be blocking themselves this month? And I apologize if this is taking a little longer than normal, but I do like the cards to come out on their own time. What does Cancer need to be curious about for the next 2 months? Okay, we have, oh, I love it, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. This is lines right up. This might as well be the High Priestess card in this deck. So when we think of the 7th chakra, this is your crown chakra. This is our direct connection to the divine, to Spirit. This is where we get our downloads. We have the number 41, which breaks down to the number 5. This is the number of change. It can be seen as a number of chaos, but it's also the number of the potential for growth. When we think about as we grow, that is change, but it's beneficial change. So keep that in mind, that where you might be blocking yourself comes from your ability to kind of open up that 7th chakra, comes from your ability to just allow those downloads to come in and trust your intuition. Cancer, you are the sign that rules the intuition. It's your superpower, honestly. I mean, you can see here this individual holds the book of universal wisdom. And so this is something also coming through very strongly here that says you hold all the wisdom within through your direct connection to Spirit. And how do you connect to that? Using your superpower of intuition. So this is a month about getting very, very in touch with you, very in touch with having those moments of time to where you can meditate, or just as you're about to fall asleep at night, just really kind of allowing and asking Spirit to come in to guide you, and then utilizing your feeling to know what to walk away from and where you want to walk towards, and using your great hope or dream as that guide. There's a lot of faith, I feel, coming through for you. You know, when you think of the High Priestess and the High Priest, those 2 cards, those 2 individuals, they are ones who take action from a place of great faith. And that's really going to be, if you can kind of keep that as your motto, I have faith. I have faith that I am working with the grand design, with Spirit, with God, and I have faith that all will come to be for my highest good. So the 10 of Swords here coming up again so it's mirroring the card out here. So this is saying that for some of you, you lost connection to your intuition because of the events that brought you to this lowest point. And this is saying that it's time for you to resurrect Judgment. This individual gets to come up, he gets to shake off those swords, and he walks away with his one sword of truth. And Spirit's really asking you to not block that part of your experience at this point, to not lose faith. For some of you, this also could be a loss of faith, that in going through this dark period or this difficult period, and it doesn't have to be that this is happening right now. It could have happened in the past and you've been just trying to get over it for a while. But that moment in your life is where the block came in, where you said, I don't have faith that this is out there for me anymore, or I don't have faith that I am connected to the grand, great design of the universe. And this is saying it's time for you to reconnect. It's time for you to understand that that's there for you. Yeah, Four of Wands, to build a new foundation on a place of passion. So now this could be also for some of you that the difficult event happened around the home or in a marriage or around something that affects the home. But it's saying now that time is over. There's great healing that can come through, but it's time to connect to that intuition, and that's going to be the guide to allow you to really take advantage of those opportunities, the new opportunities coming in to support your dream. Okay, so let's pull a card now for courage. We're going to see what Spirit what's asking you to surrender as a part of your experience over the next couple months to really allow you to take, or to have the courage to take action on your own behalf here. So let's see, what does Cancer need to know about what to release? Surrender obsessive thinking. I love this. This is really about clearing your mental space and just getting in touch through your intuition, through emotion. This is about really understanding the power of your emotional experience and really moving yourself out of your mind and into that kind of fiery place of passion within ourselves. And it says, if you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to Spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So yeah, this month, you're just being asked to let go. It's almost like a little bit of the let go and let God. Regardless of what you believe, there's that feeling of trusting in the divinity of our experience, trusting in your own intuition and where you're feeling guided to go. Yeah, we have Page of Pentacles and Five of Wands. Page of Pentacles is kind of getting the details in order. It's getting more information. And the Five of Wands can be a card of chaos. It can be a card of, a lot of people trying to come into the mix with their ideas or their passions. And so I think for some of you, you're trying to figure out right now what to do with a pentacle or a seed. There's a little bit of an opportunity coming through here. And I think for some of you, it's almost like you're getting kind of lost in the chaos of, do I plant it here? Do I do this? Do I do that? And this is saying the answers will come from within when you just kind of stay out of the fray, when you just allow yourself to be grateful for the new opportunities coming in, and you open yourself up to, again, kind of all and any opportunity. Get out of your mind and into your gut, into that faith that something's coming in for you, Cancer, that's really going to slingshot you to the stars, to your star. Okay, now I'm going to pull a final card here for the concept of contemplation. And this is going to be where Spirit would like you to stay reflective. A message to keep in mind as you go through the next couple months. It's going to kind of ground this message here into your everyday experience so that you don't forget about the reconnection to yourself. We have 3 cards, Cancer. We have Mintalkin, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. We have Get Grounded. It says empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And then we have Share Your Voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. I love this. I get the feeling for many of you, are going to be themes around where you belong, themes around where you have felt that you could not express yourself authentically, and Spirit's asking you to come to a place of understanding that home is what you make it, that you do belong wherever you are, and that you may feel the need that something in your life currently is no longer a feeling of home. Maybe a place you've always lived, or a work environment you've always been in, or even a relationship you've had for an extended period of time, that may no longer feel like home for you. And that, in that feeling, is going to direct you towards what will feel more like home, where you will be supported for who you are, where your needs and your dreams will be met. And the share your voice, I love this one because it really says that it's time for you to be seen. It's time for you to share who you are, and do so from a place of not being worried about what other people think of you, not being worried that what you have to say is not important, or that your own experience is not important in the grand scheme of things. This is saying you are very much important, and it's time to come out. And I always like this. It's like she's kind of in the darkness and she's looking out into this beautiful kind of ethereal realm beyond. And it's saying it's time for you to come into that ethereal realm. It's time for you to come out and enjoy the stars. It's not even enough. It's not enough to just look at it from the ground and wish and hope and dream. It's now time for you to actually move into the heavens for yourself. Beautiful energy. I'm going to pull just final couple clarifying cards here to see what else is out there. I do like that it also says get grounded, connect with nature. I get the feeling of connecting with beauty, whatever you feel is beautiful for you. Yeah, 5 of Cups. For some of you, this is the reason why there's something here around a home or something not feeling like home because there was a disappointment in the past. Something did not work out. This could be, again, something that you invested a lot of time and energy into and it didn't have the result that you wanted on an emotional level. But it's one that we realize that even though 3 cups have been spilled, or 3 cups did not work for us, where we poured our emotional self into them, the original Rider-Waite Tarot will have the 2 cups standing upright behind the individual, stating that there's always someone there to support you. You always have more than enough, and there's always 2 cups to clink together. So keep that in mind. It's time for you to kind of look to those people who are around you, look to connect. I like that the Page of Wands is coming up at the bottom again, just like here. It's time to go out and have fun, Cancer. It's time to go out and have fun. Yes, 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. If you notice, the 5s are coming up here pretty clearly. And again, the 5s are agents of chaos, but they're also points of growth. So from great disappointment comes the 6 of Cups, which is getting back to your emotional self, a gift from your original self. It's almost like getting a gift from your inner child. And the 5 of Pentacles is a card of financial lack, or a card of feeling like if I express this part of myself, or if I leave to find something else, that I will not be supported, that I will lose something in my experience that is physical and tangible. But the beauty of the 5 of Pentacles is if we can use this as a growth point and we get to move past it, and we still make that change based on how we feel, then we come into the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles is balance, it's reciprocity, it's a return on our investment. So keep that in mind as you move through the next 2 months, is that the time and energy you spend in moving towards something that is more emotionally fulfilling for you, that aligns with your star, that aligns with this new version of yourself, the more you will see the opening from disappointment into a gift, and from lack into stabilization and abundance. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here for the concept of, not for the concept, I'm pulling a final card here for the reading to get a better understanding of the overarching spiritual lesson you're learning about yourself this month, Cancer. So let's go ahead and see what comes through. and then I'll read the full excerpt from the book that comes with this oracle deck, so you get a message that comes from something other than me. Okay, we have divine talents. Oh, I like this one for you. And this could be that spiritual gift. You guys are getting an emotional gift. This whole challenge, this whole process you've gone through is here to awaken a divine gift, a part of your purpose. Okay, so we have divine talents. It says, you are a talented soul. Over many lifetimes, you have developed your spiritual abilities to channel higher awareness, attract healing energy, and radiate light to uplift the consciousness of those around you. Your divine talents are many and uniquely expressed through you. Your talents do not have to resemble those of another to have their own inestimable value. Do not be afraid to use them. Divine talents are a way in which the universe reminds us of what we are here to do. Divine talents are unlimited. They include the ability to channel spiritual guidance and healing energy, to perceive clairvoyantly and be psychic and empathic. Other spiritual talents are the ability to release earthbound spirits, earth healing techniques such as working with energy grids, as well as healing ability with crystals and the many and varied technologies of light. There are other spiritual talents too. These include writing, performing, sound healing, dancing to awaken awareness, creating art, photography, or divinely inspired tools and jewelry. Cooking food that heals body and spirit is a spiritual talent, as are the abilities to bring people together, to offer comforting and inspiring words at the right time, to help others overcome fear and feel more at peace in moments of importance, and more. You could use your divine talents in your career as a healer, in your work in the corporate world, or in your stay-at-home role as a parent, helping to raise more conscious, secure, and empowered children. In a world that is in desperate need of strong, spiritually grounded leaders for the future. You can use your talents to create a vocation that truly inspires you and brings your light to the world. You can use them in the line of the grocery store. The point is that you use them. This oracle comes to you with a message. You have spiritual talents, some of which have been developed in other lifetimes and will simply and suddenly spring back to life, as if from out of the blue this lifetime. Others need a little more attention, patience, and effort to be brought to life in the world. This is particularly the case for you at this time if you have also drawn or are also attracted to read the message now for the oracle of past life activation. Sometimes there is fear in sharing talents, and that's really where this, coming out of the cave is coming into this picture here. It says you may have a subconscious or a very conscious past life recollection that involved shame, isolation, ridicule, fear, or even torture or death as a response to your sharing your talents for healing and helping others. Maybe you fear your spiritual talent will not allow you to meet your material needs. That's the Five of Pentacles. Or that others will reject or deny your talent. That's the Five of Cups. Even if you know it to be authentic and helpful. Or perhaps you need to acknowledge your talents yourself. Believe in yourself and your abilities and in your capacity to use those talents in a constructive, healing way. Keep developing your talents until your own unique expression comes to life. Don't give up in the early and possibly awkward stages, dismissing your abilities as less than those of another. Trust that there is something very real and worthwhile in you. Do not dismiss or diminish your potential. Treat yourself as an investment worthy of development. Give yourself a chance. Enough time, attention, and practice to discover what you are really capable of. The universe knows. Soon you shall too. The High Priestess. This oracle also reminds you to do what makes you happy, to chase your sacred bliss, Page of Wands, and chase your sacred bliss and express yourself in the world via the unique and special abilities that the divine has bestowed upon you. When you follow what you love, you are on your life path and you shall succeed, beloved. I love this for you guys, Cancer. This is saying it's time to step into the next cycle that is about fun, that is about you, expressing yourself and stepping into a place of self-value and worth, and in a reconnection to your own divinity, to seeing where you belong, to seeing where your unique talents are needed, and to see how this is going to usher in a great hope and dream for yourself. Cancer, I'm going to leave this here. If you are interested in booking a personal reading or just learning more about me and the services I offer, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. I will be posting a video within the next couple weeks around working with your moon sign. So many people don't know their moon placement, but I have found in my practice that this is actually the key. The awareness of your moon sign and the house placement that it's in is the key to unlocking areas where you are blocking yourself from authentic expression, as well as areas where once you are aware of them and can focus on them, can help stabilize your core experience on an emotional level, so that then that frees you up to better enjoy your life and to focus on things like finding purpose. So if you are interested in that, you can keep your eye out for that video. And after that point, I will be releasing a new service on my website, which will be for bookings for 2023, where I will work with individuals with tarot reading, but also looking at their moon sign to help them stabilize, again, authentic expression and security on an emotional level in their life, so that you can get closer to those feelings of true emotional fulfillment and joy. All right. Well, I don't see you out there at some point over the next couple months. I hope to see you again in January for the next Illumination reading. I will also be posting a miracle reading in the month of December for each sign, so you can check that out as well. But I'm wishing you, Cancer, a month of emotional freedom to follow your bliss, to find your passion, and to express from that part of yourself that is directly connected to your divinity. Bye, Cancer.